What's up, y'all? I'm really not in the mood to do this live right now, but since I was literally following the events that are going on in Atlanta and in New York and I mean in DC and in Minnesota, there's just a lot going on tonight, and I felt like that we could probably get through some things together. I know that y'all have been watching closely the George Floyd situation and how everybody is outraged and certain things are happening, and we're kind of like looking at it a little bit skeptical because it's like I don't think we're the ones that are burning down our own communities. I don't feel like we're the ones that are, tossing Molotov cocktails, to the cause. I don't know. I mean, we are frustrated. I mean, how many times do we have to tell people to, stop killing us, stop shooting unarmed men, stop killing unarmed men, black men in particular? We are frustrated. And just like Martin Luther King said, riots are the voice of the unheard. So it's kind of like, I can't really condemn the people who are doing some of the things that they're doing out of outrage. But at the same time, I'm sitting here watching CNN earlier today. And it was like, it's not what y'all think, and when I was watching CNN, they were basically saying, Trump calling people thugs, making it seem like, forming this narrative as if it's all people of color who are setting the cities ablaze. And it's not. The people who we keep seeing are what? Caucasian males, front and center. And while they may be out there fighting for our cause as well, it just seems to me that they are the ones who are, causing the most, strife. This is Atlanta, like right now, live right now. I was literally watching this all unfold. It was a peaceful protest earlier today. I think it started around 5 or 6 this evening. And, as it got darker, things started to happen. Somebody set a police car aflame. They start breaking the windows of the CNN building. They started spray painting the CNN building downtown. And, all of us in Atlanta are like, why are they at CNN? From my perspective, when we watch the news, it's like CNN on our side. You know what I'm saying? Why are y'all at CNN? What is going on at CNN? They got y'all wanting to blow up CNN. And then I'm like, Trump doesn't like CNN. Maybe it's all a scheme. I don't know, but it's just like it's just getting so disheartening. It doesn't make sense. Thank you so much. Whoever said that. And I just kind of just wanted to come on for a second, for a little while, and just I don't know. It's just hard to take in. Not to say that I didn't know that it was coming to Atlanta. Hell, Atlanta is the home of the civil rights movement. Y'all can say anything y'all want to say about Atlanta, but Atlanta is the reason a lot of y'all have rights today, because of Martin Luther King, Andrew Young, all of the greats that are here in Atlanta that fought for the rights that us as African Americans have. So that being said, when things like this happen, we always protest here in Atlanta. That's nothing new. We always protest in Atlanta. But, this situation, we've always been nonviolent. Dr. King has always, been in the back of our minds as our hero. We don't have to burn up things. So look at this. This is at the CNN Center downtown. We don't have to do these types of things. But again, wow, this is at the CNN Center downtown right now. They're burning down downtown Atlanta. And there's nothing to loot in downtown Atlanta. A bunch of office buildings, the CNN Center, the AJC, places like that. Hell, little 5 Points, ain't nothing down there but MARTA and some pizza places. So what are y'all doing downtown? What are y'all doing? Like, I don't know. And then look, I'm going to send myself this picture that was on CNN earlier today. It was a white male front and center. Gosh, gosh. This is just getting crazy. Hold on, I'm gonna put this picture in here. Front and center, breaking the glass at the CNN Center, and he bloodied his hand, and somebody like helped him fix it. But everyone was saying like, what is really going on? What is happening? Hold on, where is it? Is this it right here? I think this is it. Nope, let me see. 29th today. I don't see the picture. For some reason it ain't popping up. There it is. Damn. Shit, let me share this picture real quick. Come out of here. Yeah, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do to make change? How are we gonna change? How are we gonna look? This is what we saw earlier. And this is somebody who was throwing things into the CNN Center, who was breaking the glass in the CNN Center, and people behind were filming and recording. That's not a black male. That is a white male front and center, creating chaos amongst the crowd. So, then, Mayor Keisha and Killer Mike have got together, and they were on earlier today speaking out against violence and basically telling people, to be safe. And we understand that protests are, what they are, but it's not making any sense. Hold on, I want you to hear what Mike said. Shout out to Big Boy, because Big Boy just posted this on his YouTube. And even though it's a little bit hard to hear, hold on.
I'm glad they only took down a sign and defaced a building, and they're not killing human beings like that policeman did. I'm glad that they only destroyed some brick and mortar, and they didn't rip a father from a son. They didn't rip a son from a mother like the policeman did. When a man yells for his mother in duress and pain and she's dead, he's essentially yelling, please, God, don't let it happen to me. And we watched that. So my question for us on the other side of this camera is, after it burns, will we be left with charred, or will we rise like a phoenix out of the ashes that Atlanta has always done? Will we use this as a moment to say that we will not do what other cities have done, and in fact, we will get better than we've been? We got good enough to destroy cash funds. You don't have to worry about going to jail for something petty. We got smart enough to decriminalize marijuana. How smart are we going to be in the next 15 or 20 years to keep us ahead of this curve? So that, much like when South Africa suffered apartheid, you had Andy and other politicians that could make sure that Atlanta said, Coca-Cola, we love you, but if you don't pull out of South Africa, we're going to leave. We're not going to drink Coca-Cola anymore. And Coca-Cola jumped on their side, and apartheid did it. So we have an opportunity now. Because I'm mad, I don't have any good advice. But what I can tell you is that if you sit in your homes tonight, instead of burning your home to the ground, you will have time to properly plot, plan, strategize, and organize and mobilize in an effective way. And two of the most effective ways is first taking your butt to the computer and making sure you fill out your census so that people know who you are and where you are. The next thing is making sure you exercise your political bully power and going to local elections and beating up the politicians that you don't like. You got a prosecutor sent your partner to jail and you know it was bullshit, put a new prosecutor in there. Now's your election to do it. You want a different senator that's more progressive, that pulls marijuana through, now is the time to do that. But it is not time to burn down your own home.
And let's just say this. Atlanta, even though we have our issues, Atlanta is the most progressive city for African American people, period. What sense does it make to burn down your haven, to burn down your safe place? You know what I mean? And while again we have our issues here just like any other city, but this is where everybody comes. This is where everybody can live their dreams. This is where everybody can be who they are. I tell y'all all the time, Atlanta is the home of the fakers and whatever else that means. But if you want to be somebody, if you want to build, if you want to become a millionaire, if you want to do all those things, live the African American dream, it is in Atlanta. So what sense would it make for us to burn down the most progressive African-American city in the United States of America. It's something else behind this. Y'all cannot look. I understand protest. Again, we protest all the time. We got a black mayor. What y'all burning down a black city for? Again, that's why I don't feel like it's all about us. It's not us. So, I just came on today. That's the helicopter footage. Hold on, let me see what else they got going on CNN. Hold on. Don Lemon is talking about it now. Let me see what he's talking about. Child, this is gonna be a long night because this is not far from where I live. Hold on. Let me see. Where is it? CNN? Yeah.
Center, and this is out near Centennial Olympic Park, again, which is across the street from the Omni Hotel down in downtown Atlanta. And it appears that obviously this has gotten out of control. Nick Valencia is standing by. Nick, can you hear me?
Hey, I can hear you. It's just in the last 30 seconds as these fire trucks made their way to a fire that is just getting out of control here on the side of Centennial Olympic Park. Don, a car set on fire has spread to another. And as these fire trucks were making their way to extinguish the blaze, the demonstrators used that as an opportunity to try to sneak behind the police line. You can see behind me here, 2 demonstrators being put into zip ties. At one point, the police line had to advance on the demonstrators because they were being attacked, essentially. Those projectiles have not stopped. There's still a smell of tear gas in the air, stinging your nostrils. These protesters are not going home anytime soon. They've dug in, at least those that are left here tonight, Don. This crowd has by and large thinned out. And I want to set the scene for you here. You see this chaos happening behind me. It all started here, which you're familiar with here, right? Centennial Olympic Park, right? The big fire that's spreading.
So we're having a bit of trouble with, hey, Nick, stand by. Nick, what's happening where you are?
You okay?
Was that our photographer?
Hey, that's our photographer. He's all right. He just got bumped into. He's okay. He's okay. He's okay. We're okay here. You all right, William? Okay. All right. Yeah, we're live on the air here, guys. We just got to make our way here if you can. I want to show the crowd. Can we step in the street? I want to show this.
J Farm D, that Killer Mike speech was alongside our mayor, so she was in support of what he said.
Just before 8 o'clock, while we were live on air, perhaps just after 8 o'clock, that really instigated this crowd. And since then, the situation has only devolved. We've seen flashbangs. It was earlier tonight that our crew got shot with what we believe was a BB gun. Our photographer, William Walker, aside from just getting bumped into there, got a BB pellet in his pelvic area. I got one in my gut. I mean, these are demonstrators that are very, very upset here tonight, and they came here to confront police. There's no peacefulness about this at all whatsoever. It was about 3 o'clock that these demonstrators showed up here outside of CNN Center, and over the hours, their anger continued to blossom. They began throwing rocks at about 7 o'clock. That's when our national desk called us to come down here to what was then a devolving situation. And things just continue to get more and more pear-shaped here. You have graffiti all across the front of the CNN red letters, profanities towards police officers, names of African-American men gunned down by police. You have, and then here, the scene playing out right in front of you, Don. You have a demonstrator that's been taken into cuffs, bloodied, asking what he did wrong. We saw him get on top of a fire truck, and he's claiming he didn't do anything wrong. Hey, man, why did you show up here today? Why did you show up? What made you come out here? What are you doing out here today?
Hey, Nick. So, Nick, let's take a beat here.
What are you guys doing out here today?
Hey, Nick.
I'm being detained.
Why are you detained?
I don't know. You can ask this officer right here. I don't know, sir.
All right.
Okay.
Go ahead, Don.
So, Nick, let's take a beat here, and I want everyone to calm down here because again, these protests obviously are interesting and they're very disturbing. This is not the first time that protesters have come to the CNN Center in Atlanta. And let me tell you why. It's probably, if not one of the biggest attraction and business in Atlanta besides Delta Airlines, right? And so right next to the CNN Center,
That's right.
you've got the MARTA and the subway. If you want to go over and talk to her, Nick, by all means, go over. And so people can show up here very easily, and they know that the cameras are here at the CNN Center in Atlanta. It's trained on this location. So Nick, if you can take a beat, show us around where you are. I know you have the park behind you. You've got the Omni Hotel and then the CNN Center beyond that on the other side. The size of the crowd, and just walk us through the scene and tell us what's happening.
Yeah, we, we're out here downtown Atlanta. CNN Center is. Say again. Okay, it's a mainstay. It's a main attraction, as you say. It's people come here as tourists. It's a main tourist destination here. It's been a hub of the city of Atlanta since its foundation. This was one time the world's largest indoor amusement park before Ted Turner purchased it and turned it into was once the Omni Center and then became CNN Center, the home to us. The home to our Atlanta bureau, our colleagues here, and it is, as you mentioned, not the first time demonstrators have showed up. However, this is the first time in my years here in Atlanta that I've seen things turn violent. Yeah. One of the beautiful things about the city of Atlanta is the harmony here. Yes, it has a history of racial tension. Yes, the history of the civil rights movement here, people like Andrew Young, people like Hosea Williams, of course, Dr. Martin Luther King, but this is an area where even though we saw demonstrations in years like 2015 during the rash of police shootings of African-American men, these demonstrations were by and large peaceful. This is not peaceful at all. This is a crowd that is out for revenge. They have been confronting police, even though at times they've been threatened or warned, I should say, by the officers that tear gas is going to be deployed on them. They've continued to, even still now, you're still seeing bottles being launched towards the police line. Yeah. We've seen multiple police officers injured here throughout the course of the night, Dawn, and it shows no sign of slowing down anytime soon.
And if you look at some, the signs in the crowd there, there are signs talking about police officers and equating them to the most terrible forms in our society, or people, Klansmen, and so on and so forth. We know that all police officers are not like that. And this situation, just the one that we witnessed from a camera in Minneapolis, was unfortunate. And it's unfortunate that it had to happen, but it does happen here in the United States. Now, Nick, if let's continue to talk here, because there is a police precinct inside the CNN Center, but
okay, y'all, hold on. Hey, Kendra.
Hi, Michelle.
How are you?
I'm a bit overwhelmed right now, to be honest with you.
I'm trying to figure out. I got a lot of stuff going on my computer. I'm trying to close some things up. Hold on a second. Okay, there it is. You overwhelmed, Kendra?
I am. I mean, at the height of this pandemic, the coronavirus is killing Black men the most, and overall in every single country globally. And we also have the pandemic. Playing still taking in Black men, but I don't want people to forget that Breonna Taylor is still, her shooter is still at large. She was sitting at home in her house, and nobody's been charged for her murder.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just a bit overwhelmed, because as for me, I work in healthcare, and I'm always seeing what's happening. But my thing is, as an activist, I want people to know their rights. And you asked, what do we do now? My question to people who are asking, who are outraged: did you go to your local meetings at your local districts, at your local police departments, when every time they have the city town hall meetings? Do you attend those meetings to help make those changes? Do you go to any of your local organizations to help make those changes? I do. I'm actually a secretary of an organization. So it starts locally for me. And Atlanta has so many organizations that can help provide and make change. My thing is also that we have to continue to hold the police department accountable, because when you make that pledge to protect and serve, you also are making that pledge to, you're not supposed to be afraid if you're going to be a police officer. Number one, to be fearful of your life. You should. That's not a job you should sign up for to begin with. That's what you're gonna do. So those are my questions. I just want to ask people when they're outraged like this. If you take that outrage at your next community meeting, there's numbers that you can call your local senators, the people that you vote in, and if you're not making that pledge to vote, you're also making a mistake as well. So it starts from there. But my thing is that we've been getting ample and ample opportunities to make those changes, and I see for myself, I'm the youngest. I'm the youngest member of my on the NAACP in people are in my local community. So I've seen it locally. I've seen the millennials get upset, but I've never seen them actually attend none of these meetings to make these
Okay,
changes.
but Kendra, what if they do attend those meetings and still people are getting killed? Like, people getting killed has nothing to do with your local congressman. Unfortunately, I get what you're saying. Like,
It actually does. We help make those changes and policies get changed, Michelle. So it does start locally.
policies get changed, but that doesn't keep out the police officers that are already in place that have, racist tendencies in their heart. Like, some of these police officers have been, employed for years, and it's systematic. So it doesn't start with today. And I get we do have to start, but at the same
It has to
time,
start somewhere. And when I talk about locally in those local precincts, you have every single proceeds have attorneys that's over them in their districts. We have every single one, but my thing is that people don't ever go up there to have those conversations with them to actually know what's being done. And my thing is that people actually never held this man accountable, even though he had all these complaints up
mhm.
against him. Nobody followed through to see what happened to those complaints. So I'm seeing that as locally. That's a fault that a lawyer should have been involved, or another attorney general for that state should have been involved to see what should have
Okay,
been
so
put in
Kendra,
place.
as I know you're the youngest person probably that calls in, as
Mm-hmm.
someone who is involved in your community, say you have done everything that you're supposed to do, and these things still continue to happen. So what's the alternative? Like, people are frustrated. This has nothing to do with my vote doesn't matter, all of that.
I
This is
get what you're saying, but my thing is that there's a lot of accountability that should have been taken up to place, not on our part. I'm talking about we have to start taking these people accountable, following through. You're not seeing a complaint like this officer had all these complaints prior to this incident. If you're
mhm.
not seeing nothing being done, somebody should have held this foot to the fire much more longer than now. We probably would never seen this murder happen, but there's a lot more change that needs to be happening. I'm just talking about nationwide. We've seen these cases. This thing right here is only happening because it was filmed, but I'm seeing so many more cases locally where I am, we don't have videotapes to cover this. So
Right.
my thing is that it's important for us to take the initiative to hold the feet to the fire to the people that we elect, and actually, I know certain people. I know certain things that goes on the ballot. People don't actually do their background check. So I think it's important to get in touch with your local information like NAACP that can help you provide more information about what you need to do in your local community to get things going. But my thing is that I'm just I'm overwhelmed by the fact that I'm seeing actual people who are not black and then the black community being accused of these actions. Like I seen in Minnesota, like a lot of the people that actually throw those firebombs weren't even actually black people. So my thing is that we're getting accused for a lot of things that we're not actually doing. So
Okay.
that's another thing. I think racists are actually taking the initiative to actually put more focus on what we tend to do. When I look at a lot of the looting videos, a lot of them are not African American people as well. So that's problematic as well that I see.
Okay. Okay.
So there's a lot of things that needs to be correct, but there's a lot of things that have to start first, and that's the first step is to make sure you know where to go in your local community. There's so many organizations that can help you find the information locally. For me, I volunteered and I worked for SPLC last summer. They do a lot of the hate groups organization and a lot of that. Um,
I
just
hear
they do a
you.
lot of good stuff around the world. Like they so I really was grateful to be able to work with them. My organization, we personally, I found my job as secretary is to find resources for people who may not have home, food, clothing, and may not even have available utility of rent and stuff. So my thing is that people can have, if you can stay online for about 3 hours, you can donate your time to your local community to get stuff started.
All right. Well, thank you, Kendra. I appreciate your input today.
All right.
All right. Goodbye. I'm not here to debate. Y'all have your opinions. I have mine. I'm not here to change your mind. Hi, who is in here? I can't see your name. Hold on, let me see. Pussy Willow. What is this? Pussy Willow Dottie?
Yeah.
Hi,
What's up, Michelle? How you been?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good to see you. You gonna be out in Atlanta tonight getting some purses and stuff, or was you just what?
Are you trolling?
I mean, got the whole riot stuff going on. I was like, what's going on? You might as well make it over to what you call that mall?
No, I'm
The
good.
one
I have,
over there.
I have enough purses. Thank you.
Oh well, I mean, the whole thing is going on.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that would be that.
That was your input.
Yeah, that was the thing. I mean, if it's gonna be going on, I mean,
so if I'm gonna be
live out there,
if I'm gonna be frustrated, I might as well go steal me some purses. Is that what you're saying?
You might as well. I mean, you might as well.
Is that what you doing? Where you from?
I'm in Charlotte.
Okay, is that what y'all doing in Charlotte? When y'all are upset about, like the white boy who shot up the church in Charlotte and they took him in peacefully without even a bruise and even put a bulletproof vest on him. When y'all were protesting, did you go steal some purses?
No, not particularly, but I mean, if it's available.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your input. I appreciate it. I'm okay. Von Zipper. Hello, Von Zipper. Your mic is muted.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you
Hey.
hear me?
Yes. Hey.
Oh my God, these African Americans, stop being brainwashed. Like, oh my God, President Trump, y'all gotta stop listening to what them white liberal people be telling y'all what to say. Oh, it's President Trump's fault. Michelle, what year did Rodney King happen? Like 93, 94?
Yeah, it was 90 something. Yeah.
The LA race riot. Come on, guys. Like, oh my God, President Trump. Okay, like if you're gonna point the fingers at the Republicans, the Democrats too. It happens under everybody. That was President Clinton. Like, people need to, and the whole voting thing, guys, we passed that. Like,
And I agree, again, but I don't want to. I'm never gonna discourage what other people think. I'm gonna tell you my opinion. You can have your opinion, and I'm not gonna try to change your mind. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think we're past that. I think we have tried voting people into office. We have tried talking to our local congressmen. We have tried marching on Washington. We have tried all the things, and that this is the culmination of all of those things that we have tried. Like, people are frustrated. That's why it's going from city to city. But I do think that there's some underlying things that are going on that are disrupting the peaceful protests. You know what I'm saying?
But the peaceful protests don't do anything. That's what they were doing in the 1960s, and that's why we still at where we at now. You can't keep trying.
You're saying that the things that the people did in the 60s didn't help, that didn't help the civil rights movement, that didn't help get rid of Jim Crow, that didn't help like us, get rid of colored only water fountains. It didn't help. Everything.
Michelle,
I'm just saying everything
Michelle,
is progress.
Forsyth. But is it really though? Like, to be honest, the only thing that has changed between 1960 and now is that it's not okay to be like they do it implicitly instead of explicitly. So yeah, like there's no colored water fountain, but how many African Americans live in Forsyth County? How many African Americans live in Buckhead? How many African Americans? You know what I mean? Like, how many African Americans live in St. Malo and Duluth?
Us in Atlanta said Like, how are you going to destroy our city? What you need to be doing, you need to be out there in Lenox somewhere, or at Phipps Plaza, or
Buckhead,
somewhere
Duluth.
where your damages would be effective and the people that you are hoping to hear would pay attention. Right now in the city of Atlanta, we already been fighting. We already been, in the civil rights struggle. So I don't feel like it's helpful doing it down here. But I mean, I'm looking at
the person said they had it worse in the 60s. I mean, I think that's something like in your head, because I'm serious. Like, you go into kids are out of school clearly, but if it was a normal school year, you go into the cafeteria, the white kids are over here, the black kids are over there. You get on any school bus, the black kids are still in the back. You get on the city bus, the black people still in the back. Like, things have it's not really changed. Like, it's something that make you feel good. They made the Civil Rights Act of 1964. But no, it's not. It's not. And everybody be like, the president. Fuck the president. It don't have nothing to do with the president. It's us. You know what I mean? Like, presidents come and go.
A better solution.
Instead of volunteering your time and vote stuff, we got to stay in our community. That's why I personally think the 60s are better, because I'm actually this, and this is controversial for some people. I think, because my parents are born in the 40s, I think we were better as African Americans during segregation, because we went to a black dentist, we went to a black doctor, we had a black lawyer, we looked out for black people. You know what I mean? We got to get that community back. Is all I'm saying.
Instead of voting, I've heard a lot of people say that as well. Because remember, look, Killer Mike is my fave. We can talk about Killer Mike all day long, but he is one of the people that have said that too. That segregation was almost a good thing, because blacks were forced to assist each other and to support each other's businesses, and we didn't go outside of our communities. We were forced to stay in our communities, and our communities were forced to grow. But now it's like we feel like it's better for us to move out of our communities and move into Buckhead and wherever else. It's just
that's why I never knock Candy's neighborhood. Like, I can listen to every live. I never knocked her neighborhood.
That's what the first house I bought was on the south side. Trust.
Exactly. I never knock where people say they live. If you live in South Atlanta, I don't live there. I know I'm familiar with the Atlanta area. If you say you live in South Atlanta, Camp Creek, some people like, ooh, like, no, that's where you need to live where you feel welcome and where you feel comfortable. So yeah, nothing has really changed. Even in a black area like Atlanta, there's still all the blacks are south, all the blacks are down in Clayton County. There's not many black people in Alpharetta, people, and everybody know this. So everybody's like, oh, it's no, it really hasn't. You got to really look at the real world, and Alfreda, like, I'm just saying the facts. If you don't like it, you don't like it. I'm just saying, live in your world. Go vote for go vote for Joe Biden, who don't give a fuck about it. Go in November, go vote for Joe Biden, because a Democrat can't be racist. A Democrat can't be prejudiced. Democrats care about black people. But you know what I mean? Like, we need to get off that Democrat and Republican shit. We're black. Like, fuck it. Fuck it. Like I said, sorry, your video's not gonna be monetized, but it's in my mouth. But that is just.
No, it's all good. Buckhead is ghetto. Trust and believe. Buckhead is.
Them apartments behind Lenox Mall on Lenox Road are like. You know what I mean? So we gotta stop doing it. But all the African Americans, I got Gucci, I got Louis. They don't we worried about the wrong thing. Like, every year, the first day of school, I see people post on my child gonna be the best dressed this year. I'm like, no, your child need to know how to read. Like, we worried about the wrong stuff. It's community. So yeah, we need to march. We make them feel uncomfortable, but that's the only way to point. When people feel uncomfortable, that's when they what they're doing.
Yeah.
That person, whoever the lunchbox, learn from the lunchbox was right. But after this, we can do all this and get the attention. But after we get the attention, it's what we really need to do a come up. So yeah, they need to do this to get attention, because third-degree murder. My brother's an attorney. He said third-degree murder. The hell? He said, I've never done a case for third-degree murder.
I feel like they did that because they were pressured to, because of the violence. They felt like they needed to do something. And
manslaughter.
I'm all about a conspiracy because I'm like, but where is he? Did we even see him get locked up? Why we didn't witness him doing the perp walk? Why we haven't seen the mugshot? I haven't been paying attention since I've been watching the demonstrations. But is there a mugshot out yet? How we know he was arrested and not taken into protective custody?
Yeah, SSS 334. You should love your house, and I'm glad that you bought too. But that's the number one thing for wealth is buying your home. So yeah, you go live where you feel comfortable. Don't live somewhere to impress somebody. But yeah, I agree with you, Michelle. Like, I want to know, where was he? Was these mobsters who burned down Target and AutoZone in the 3rd precinct?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure they were looking for him. Come on, they found old girl in Central Park in a minute. They found her name, her job, and old dude in the gym. They found him in a minute. So I was like, that man must have went into hiding. Like, where has he been? Like, you're right. It's a politics. It's a stunt. It's stunts and shows, guys.
And it's taken away. It's a diversion tactic because now no one's talking about COVID. And remember, the people who were getting the most deaths from COVID were African Americans in every city.
They say. That's what they say.
That's what they say. And, again, that's what they say. We haven't seen any numbers go down. And again, that's what they say. But, I don't know. Like, it's like now we're not paying attention to COVID. Now we out here protesting and it feels like it's a calculated race war or something. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's just stressful.
Michelle, give me 60 more seconds and I'll get off.
Go ahead. You got it.
But this is what I agree with you. But this is what I say. They say that African Americans were dying. How many? This is anecdotal evidence, and I don't know everything. Like you said, you don't know. I don't know either. This is just my opinion. All this, so people. I'm not a know-it-all. How many people died from COVID-19? Like like okay, Jenny died. Deborah, the cousin Angie died. You know anybody who died?
I don't know.
Exactly. So this shows you, and I've been saying it for a while. Like I'm not afraid of it. I'm gonna die someday anyway. COVID-19 was a big scam. I'm not saying that it don't exist. I'm saying that the numbers, it's just like HIV. People don't die from AIDS. People die from complications of AIDS. You die from pneumonia. You know what I mean? You die. It's the same thing as COVID-19. If someone died from pneumonia, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, he died from COVID-19. But how you know he had it? It was a big ploy. I mean, it really was something, not saying it wasn't real. I feel as though once it really started, they just used it to their advantage. And I'm saying the news media, CNN, like which is on the screen now. They got money to get. They know that if they get you scared, you're gonna tune in and they make their money. So that's just my 2 cents. Nobody worried about none of these protesters getting coronavirus is what. Long story short, is what I.
Well, what makes you think nobody's worried though? I feel
CNN not running that. Like, oh my God, like guys, like you shouldn't be protesting right now 6 feet apart. They not saying that. That just went out the window.
Okay.
It's crazy, guys. Don't fall for it.
Well, thank you so much.
I ain't talking crazy. I'm just telling you my opinion. If my opinion is crazy to you, that's fine with me. That's just. I mean, look at it. Don't nowhere on that ticker it say COVID. Like COVID-19 went away, guys. Like they could play the protest on the screen and put the COVID-19 on the ticker at the bottom. They're not doing that. It's that we moved on to the next story. Is all I'm saying. Like in life, like when something happens, it's the news story. Kobe Bryant died on Monday. There's a next story on Thursday. Like they just move on. And that's what COVID-19 clearly was. They're not talking about it on any channel anymore. So it was clearly just a news thing. Okay. If it's a pandemic, if that's a pandemic, we need to talk about it all day and every day, not these protests. All right. My 60 seconds is up. Love you, Michelle.
Thank you, brother. Bye.
Bye.
Mouth open, story jump out. Y'all know I'm mad at y'all because my channel, the only channel where y'all don't be wanting to be on camera. Hello.
Greetings, Michelle.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
So, I just want to give my 2 cents on this whole situation.
Okay.
First, I have to say, the police in Tallahassee, Florida, just killed another black man with his hands on his head. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, our ancestors did not die, did not sacrifice their lives and die so we could just sit back and say, what are we going to do now? We have protested peacefully. We have made phone calls. I'm included in that, making all the phone calls, doing all that we're supposed to do, and we get no results. Black men and women are still getting murdered in the street like it's nothing. And yeah, places are getting burned down, unfortunately, but that has to happen. We have to start a revolution. We can't just sit back anymore and just peacefully protest.
Yeah.
We can't just sit back and peacefully protest and say, our ancestors, when they were giving their lives so that we could be free, they didn't think about, oh my God, I'm gonna die, or what is gonna happen with us. So yeah, it's sad that the community is getting destroyed, but at the same time, that has to happen. It has to happen. Like,
and you know, property is replaceable. These human lives aren't. So
it's not replaceable.
Right. So
like
it's
I couldn't
symbolic.
believe.
To me, it's just all symbolic of the rage that, you know, everyone is going through because of the situation. So I mean, when people are saying, you know, you're destroying this, that, and the third, like, you know, I'm just like, whatever, steal some TVs, steal whatever. I don't care. But, you know, and my thing is, even with the burning down the police station, I get it, it's symbolic, but Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? That's all I was saying. Like, I get it, we're outraged, but even us ATLiens, a lot of people I know are like, we get the protest, but burning down the most progressive city for African Americans seems counterproductive, in my opinion.
We have to start a revolution. We can't just sit back anymore. Unfortunately, we cannot just sit back anymore, because sitting back and just saying, oh my God, look at what they're doing. And yes, we have to go out and vote. Yes, we have to vote, and not just for the president, but for the local people, the DA, or the DA, or local councilmen, all of them. We still have to go out and vote, yes, but voting changed the people, but the people are still racist. Like, the things that I have seen is unbelievable. Like, there's this white woman, she commented somebody streaming live, and she said, oh, who let the monkeys out the cage? You understand? We can't just sit back and just keep, like,
that's why I always say, you know, when we call each other monkeys, gorillas, apes, we give others license to call us monkeys, gorillas, and apes, and they do it and think it's funny. And so, like, anyway, I'm sorry, I was digressing. But go ahead.
That's okay. I don't speak of my people in that way. I don't call my people monkeys and apes and all that kind of stuff. And it really disgusts me when people do it. And I cried so much in the last couple of days, because you just keep seeing more and more and more racism, and we're just sitting back and saying, oh my God, this is so terrible. We can't just sit back and say, oh my God, this is so terrible. We have to do what is necessary. We have to do whatever it takes, because sitting back, protesting peacefully, all that stuff hasn't done anything. I'm pretty sure we all watched the same video of this man's life drained out of him. We all watched this. We can't just sit back anymore. Hello? Did it get cut off? I guess. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Hello? I don't know.
I'm sorry, I'm back. I'm sorry, I am back. I apologize. I don't know what had happened. Hold on. Who said they're gonna be on camera? Let me see. Kia, you gonna be on camera, Kia? Oh, Kia hung up. Hold on. Hi, Ann. Can you
Hi,
hear
can
me?
you see? Yep, can you see me?
Yes. What happened? Damn it. What is going on? Is YouTube messing with my channel? What is going on? She just popped off the screen. Call back.
I don't even know if she can see. Can you see me?
I can see
Hello?
you, Kia. I can see you.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It kept freezing for a minute and then it went out and then you disappeared and it's weird.
I'm back.
So
I'm back. Why you get off camera? You was on camera?
I was, but my phone, I thought it was my phone. It kept freezing. So it's a I don't know where to start. It's a very
from the beginning, child. From the beginning.
I never thought that I would actually be alive where my mother is from Grenada, Mississippi. So I remember her telling me stories literally of things that I see now. And I just never thought that being 30 something years old, that I will be experiencing and physically seeing, in my opinion, the same thing my mother went through growing up in Mississippi and the things she endured, being chased by the kids. And she said she, going to my grandmother would go to the marches and, the same thing we're doing right now. I just never thought that it would just come back full circle like it did, but I do believe it's worse now. I do agree.
It's been happening. You know how many protests there have been?
But we've been so peaceful, in my opinion.
Yeah,
we've been very peaceful.
Yeah.
But I do agree with that one person who made a comment. They said that it was, I think they said it was worse than the 60s. In my opinion, by going by this, only because my mom, by what she said, I believe it's worse than the 60s because, I don't want to say it was worse, but I feel like they did more because, back then that's when they were the police would release the dogs on them. They would get attacked. They would shoot them with water hoses. Like so many bad things would happen. And now I'm not mad that they're doing this because we're fed up. We're just done with everything. But I just I'm fine with looting all that because at the end of the day, these companies have insurance, all that stuff can be replaced. And like the lady said before, you can't replace a human being. You cannot bring a life back. Right. And I don't understand, like, it's okay to loot because we're angry. And this is us showing we're tired of this. We're tired of this. But the only thing I wish we didn't do was, and if we're going to stick together, don't touch the Black businesses. Because, to me, they didn't do anything. So let's protect them at least. Let's not burn everything down. Like, at least let's protect the Black businesses. And like, right. I agree with Von Zipper too. I do believe that we should have Black Wall Street back because I remember, I forgot what book I read like when I was like the 10th grade, that's when I was learning more about it. And our dollar is way more than like the regular American dollar. Our money together is way more, way more. So I don't understand why.
Yeah, and we spend a lot of money.
Don't stick together.
Yeah,
we have to. And I do believe segregation should come back, and we should just all be amongst each other. And when we are amongst each other, we shouldn't do the whole price gouging and just keep it normal. And we will be way more successful than what is going on right now. But we're angry. People are upset. And I don't know. It's just a very, it's just scary right now. I have a 14-year-old child, and it's so hard to explain to her what's going on because she's completely confused because she doesn't know. She was more afraid of the whole Corona thing, but now that this is going on, I don't want her to grow up and become that person that's like, well, I don't like, but I hate the police because look what they keep doing to our people. I never want her to hate them because there are good cops in the world. There are, but every time she sees an example of cops doing stuff, it's always majority is in a negative light. And another thing I'm going to say, because so many things, I know people have a lot to say. If 3 people, I believe the Asian man was in on it too, because we found out that his sister is married to the man who killed him. If 4 people killed one person, I don't understand how one person is charged with 3rd-degree murder. I'm not even a lawyer, and I don't understand that one. Yeah. I don't get it. And then they said they don't believe he died from that. I'm in healthcare. I know that's what he died from, but You could see it. He died in front of us, and then they said that of other complications. I just don't understand who in their right mind would even type that up and think that this, when they released it, that this was not going to enrage the people even more.
Right.
I don't know what's going on. Yes, it was a slap in the face, and honestly, I'm not for violence, but anything that goes on, they deserve it because they're trying us.
Yeah.
And I don't know what has to happen to actually get the respect that we need. I don't get that. Like, when is it going to ever end that it's safe for us? It's not safe.
It's not
people,
safe.
crazy.
It has never been safe. I feel like we've always had this false
that man
sense
scared
of
the hell out of
security.
me.
Who? Oh, can you hear me?
Man that just jumped on the
Because I
screen.
think I'm froze. I don't know if I'm froze or not, but can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, but I think I don't know what's going on. But anyway, I think we've had a false sense of security for a long time, because of, it seems like, everyone's doing well. We got a black president. We got this, we got that. But at the end of the day, like, even when Obama was in office, it's like racism was running rampant.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's like you just have to pay attention to it. It's so overt sometimes. So I don't know. I just think that I'm frozen again, y'all. Yeah, I am. I don't know what's going on with my camera, but yeah, I just think we just have to. I don't know.
We have to come together.
Yeah, and I get it, and I get being outraged. I mean, we have every right to be outraged. So I don't know what's next. I mean, again, everything is systematic. For every reaction, for every action, there's a reaction. So hopefully, all of these burnings and all of these different cities and all of these, protests will, create some change, or at least get some people to pay attention to the police force and, start weeding out these bad cops. I mean, that's the bare minimum, I would hope.
I have another question, and I agree with you completely, Michelle. Have you noticed it? But I find it you see people for their true colors when there are crises and when things are really at face, when things are really going on. Have you noticed it that I found it funny, but Ellen has not said a word. And the only reason I mentioned Ellen is because I always see every person under the sun running to Ellen's show to promote this, promote that. Everybody black love Ellen. She has not said 2 words since this has been going on. Nothing. She's been posting babies and dogs, and I'm like, well,
I don't pay attention to Ellen, but I did notice Oprah spoke, honey. Did you see what Oprah said?
I don't know. This has to stop. It scares me because I have a brother. I have cousins. Everybody knows has a relative. It's just, they did post something to Isabel. Okay, well, it's early, a couple days she ain't said nothing. It just worries me a lot because you never know at all. I have to leave for a funeral tomorrow. Do you know? And this is crazy. I have to go back to Mississippi because my uncle passed, and my mother, of course, doesn't want to fly, which is fine. But we're leaving at 12 o'clock at night. All I'm thinking is like, oh my goodness, please, Lord, let us have a safe trip there because I don't know what to expect going from Florida to Mississippi. I don't know. I just hope that it's not crazy, and I hope nothing else happens. And yes, that lady was right. They did just kill an innocent. It wasn't a black man. It was, I don't want to say the wrong words, but it was a transgender man that was actually murdered for absolutely nothing. Innocent. He had no guns, no weapons, no nothing in Tallahassee that was just killed, I think 2 days ago. So I don't know why they're even still, I just don't know. It's like nothing's stopping them at all. And all 4 cops should be in jail. I don't know why there's one when there were 4 who killed him. I don't get that. I don't get it at all. And I never will get it because the mindset of them. But I'm gonna pray for everybody in the chat. I know everybody's high on their emotions, but we just got to figure something out. And I do believe we have to come together because that's the only way that we'll be able to overpower them. It's not like the 60s. We're more educated now. So they can't pull the wool over our eyes. We are very educated now. So it's going to be kind of hard. The only way we can do it is we come together collectively. That's the only way. So that's all I have to say. I've finished packing. I can turn my lights on and stuff because I got a long trip ahead of me. So it was nice talking to you guys. I'm praying for everybody, okay?
I appreciate it.
Bye, Michelle. See, I told you to get on the camera for you, girl.
I know, right? And look. Okay, bye. I don't know what's going on with my camera today. I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi. I don't know if they don't want me talking about this. I don't know. Hold on. Let's wait. I'm gonna get a few calls in a minute. Somebody has sent me this. I want to see. Killer Mike says, so, "Oh, this 20 minutes. I ain't gonna watch the whole 20. Let me see what Mike said. Hold on. It's real quick. Remove. They still in Atlanta acting up, child. Hold on. Come on, Killer Mike. Bam, bam.
All right, cool. Let's do it. I'm on. What up? Y'all we talking to Atlanta. Got about 1,500 folks. Got something. We walking out? You just requested me? I don't see you pop up yet. We gonna stand in here. We walking on. We doing it on the go. Okay. Okay. Here. Hey, how you doing? You pull it up. Yeah, I got it up, but they saying Shaka was saying maybe we film Keisha first, or do you want to talk to each other? Oh, so you there? What you want to do? You want to get Keisha? You got me? Just pull me in. Okay.
His hands in a minute, and this. Listen, we up here with
the fight you're fighting is valiant and noble. We totally understand it, but we are definitely putting city officials in a place where there's going to be a confrontation. We want people to be safe.
Absolutely. It's going to be out the city's hands in a minute, and it's going to be left in the hands of state troopers. And y'all, if you from Atlanta, you know what that
state troopers are lined up.
You dig what I'm saying?
Our police chief, who's saying that she's staving off as long as she can. She does not want to enter the park with violent means. Please, let's not put her in this position to do that.
Hey, listen, check this out, y'all. We understand how you feel, and we feel the same way you do. And a lot of this stuff, it's been a long time coming. However, we must remember, even though America may deserve this, Atlanta does not.
And
this is our country. This must be protected. This is sacred. When all that other shit dissipates, this is where we rebuild. This is where we start.
Absolutely. When Captain Johnson was murdered, her policemen were locked up. They were tried. They went to jail. Another brother was murdered. They all tried to jail. Our history has been one of adjustment. Burning down our city right now, not going to progress.
So
we're gonna let you peek in on the press conference with us. Y'all check us out.
And most of that shit going on out there, we know that ain't us.
One of them is 18 years old. I saw the murder of George Floyd. I heard like a mother. And on yesterday, when I heard there were rumors about violent protests in Atlanta, I did what a mother would do. I called my son and I said, "Where are you?" I said, "I cannot protect you, and Black boys shouldn't be out today." So you're not going to out-concern me and out-care about where we are in America. I wear this each and every day. My children, and I pray over my children each and every day. So what I see happening on the street of Atlanta is not Atlanta. This is not a protest. This is not in the spirit of Martin Luther King Jr. This is chaos. A protest has purpose. When Dr. King was assassinated, he didn't do this to our city. So if you love this city that has had a legacy of Black mayors and Black police chiefs and people who care about this city, where more than 50% of the business owners in Metro Atlanta are minority business owners. If you care about this city, then go home and pray that somebody like Reverend Beasley will come and talk to you and give you some instructions on what a protest should look like and how you effectuate change in America. This police chief made a video on yesterday, pull it up on YouTube, where she said she was appalled to watch the murder of George Floyd. This woman did that. You're not honoring the legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. and the civil rights movement. You're not protesting anything, running out with brown liquor in your hands, breaking windows in this city. T.I. and Killer Mike own half the West Side. So when you burn down this city, you're burning down our community. If you want change in America, go and register to vote. Show up at the polls on June 9th. Do it in November. That is the change we need in this country. You are disgracing our city. You are disgracing the life of who has been killed in this country. Person who has been killed in this country. We are better than this. We're better than this as a city. We are better than this as a country. Go home. Go home. In the same way I can protect my son on yesterday, I cannot protect you out in those streets. You're throwing knives at our police officers. You are burning cars. You have to face the CNN building. Ted Turner started CNN in Atlanta 40 years ago because he believed in who we are as a city. There was a Black reporter who was arrested on camera this morning who works for CNN. They are telling our story, and you are disgracing their building. This is not the legacy of civil rights in America. This is chaos, and we're buying into it. This won't change anything. We're no longer talking about the murder of an innocent man. We're talking about how you're burning police cars on the streets of Atlanta, Georgia. Go home. You don't want to say anything?
I've already said what I had to say. Atlanta is a place where people like me, Killer Mike, other artists, creators, other people who come from our culture, and other people who rise out of the wreckage of the struggle that we all experience just by being born a certain color in this country. But Atlanta is a place where we can set an example of prosperity, and we've done that for generations. People like Dr. King, Major Jackson, Dr. Young have paved the way for us. When everything else goes away, when you don't get treated right in New York, when you don't get treated right in LA, when you can't get treated right in Detroit, when you don't get treated right in St. Louis, when you don't get treated right in Alabama, Atlanta has been here for us. This city don't deserve it. However, I understand that a lot of others do. But we can't do this here. This is what comes. It's safe. Most people take.
I didn't want to come, and I don't want to be here. I'm the son of an Atlanta City police officer. My cousin is an Atlanta City police officer, and my other cousin is one police officer. And I got a lot of love and respect for police officers, down to the original 8 police officers in Atlanta that even after becoming police had to dress in a YMCA because white officers didn't want to get dressed with niggas. Here we are 80 years later. I watched a white officer assassinate a Black woman, and I know that tore your heart out. And I know it's crippling And I have nothing positive to say in this moment. I don't want to be here. But I'm responsible to be here because it wasn't just Dr. King and people dressed nicely who marched and protested to progress this city and so many other cities. It was people like my grandmother, people like my aunts and uncles, who were members of the SCLC and NAACP, and in particular, Reverend James Orange, Mrs. Alice Johnson, and Reverend Love, who we just lost last year. So I'm duty bound to be here to simply say that it is your duty not to burn your own house down for anger with an enemy. It is your duty to fortify your own house so that you may be a house of refuge in times of organization. And now is the time to plot, plan, strategize, organize, and mobilize. It is time to beat up prosecutors you don't like in the voting booth. It is time to hold mayoral officers accountable, chiefs and deputy chiefs. Atlanta is not perfect, but we're a lot better than we ever were, and we're a lot better than cities are. I'm mad as hell. I woke up wanting to see the world burn down yesterday. I'm tired of seeing black men die. He casually put his knee on a human being's neck for 9 minutes as he died like a zebra in the clutch of a lion's jaw. And we watch it like murder porn over and over again. So that's why children are burning to the ground. They don't know what else to do. And it is the responsibility of us to make this better. Right now, we don't want to see one officer charged. We want to see 4 officers prosecuted and sentenced. We don't want to see targets burning. We want to see the system that sets up for systemic racism burnt to the ground. And as I sit here in Georgia, home of Stevens, Georgia, former vice president of the Confederacy, white man said that law, fundamental law stated that whites were naturally the superior race, and the Confederacy was built on a cornerstone. It's called a cornerstone speech. Look it up. The cornerstone speech that blacks would always be subordinate. That officer believed that speech because he killed that man like an animal. In this city, officers have done horrendous things and they have been prosecuted. This city's cut different. In this city, you can find over 50 restaurants owned by black women. I didn't say minority, and I didn't say women of color. So after you burn down your own home, what do you have left but charred and ash? CNN? Ted's been a great thing. I love CNN, I love Cartoon Network, but I'd like to save CNN right now. Karma's a mother. Stop feeding fear and anger every day. Stop making people feel so fearful. Give them hope. I'm glad they only took down a sign in the face of the building and they're not killing human beings like that policeman did. I'm glad that they only destroyed some brick and mortar and they didn't rip a father from a son. They didn't rip a son from a mother like the policeman did. When a man yells for his mother in duress and pain and she's dead, he is essentially yelling, please God, don't let it happen to me. And we watch that. So my question for us on the other side of this camera is after it burns, will we be left with charred or will we rise like a phoenix out of the ashes that Atlanta has always done? Will we use this as a moment to say that we will not do what other cities have done, and in fact, we will get better than we did? We got good enough to destroy cash funds. You don't have to worry about going to jail for something petty. We got smart enough to decriminalize marijuana. How smart are we going to be in the next 15 or 20 years to keep us ahead of this curve? So that much like when South Africa suffered apartheid, you had Andy and other politicians that could make sure that Atlanta said, Coca-Cola, we love you, but if you don't pull out of South Africa, we're going to leave. We're not going to drink Coca-Cola anymore. Coca-Cola jumped on their side and apartheid ended. So we have an opportunity now. Because I'm mad, I don't have any advice. But what I can tell you is that if you sit in your homes tonight, instead of burning your home to the ground, you will have time to properly plot, plan, strategize, and organize and mobilize in an effective way. And two of the most effective ways is first taking your butt to the computer and making sure you fill out the census so that people know who you are and where you are. The next thing is making sure you exercise your political bully power and going to local elections and beating up the politicians that you don't like. You got a prosecutor sent your partner to jail and you know it was bullshit, put a new prosecutor in there. Now's your election to do. You want a different senator that's more progressive, that votes marijuana through, now's the time to do that. But it is not time to burn down your own home. I love and I respect you. I hate I don't have more to say. I hate I can't fix it in a snap. I hate Atlanta's not perfect for as good as we are. But we have to be better than this moment. We have to be better than burning down our own homes. Because if we lose Atlanta, what else we got? We lose an ability to plot, to plan, to strategize, to organize, and to properly mobilize. I want you to go home. I want you to talk to 10 of your friends. I want you guys to come up with real solutions. I would like for the Atlanta City Police Department to bring back the Community Review Board, one that Alice Johnson was formerly under Chief Turner. We need a review board here because we need to get ahead of it before an officer does some stupid shit. We need to get ahead of it. That's my recommendation to my mayor and my chief. Let's get a review board. Let's get ahead of it, and let's give them power. We don't need an officer that makes a mistake once, twice, 3 times, and finally he kills a boy on national TV, and the next thing you know, the country is burning down. We don't need a dumbass president repeating what segregation is saying. You start, we start. But the problem is some officers black and some people gonna shoot back, and that's not good for our community either. I love and respect you all. I hope that you find a way out of it because I don't have the answers, but I do know we must fight, we must plan, we must strategize, organize, and mobilize. Thank you for allowing me time to speak. I like to appreciate our chief for what you said on YouTube. I thought it was very bold to do.
Okay, hold on. I just wanted to play that and make sure y'all saw. I don't think she said anything else after that. Okay, and if you want to see that again, it's on Killer Mike's Instagram. Hold on, let me put some more y'all in here. You said speak for yourself. I'm not living in hell. ATL needs better representation. Can we watch something uplifting? I mean, you know, we have to have these conversations, and sometimes some conversations are hard. We'll talk about housewives tomorrow, maybe, but I'm not in the mood to talk about housewives today. I'm sorry. Hey, Fee Love, how you doing?
Hey Michelle, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, I've had better days. You know, it's been really sad, and I get what the people saying in the chat. You know, you want to make it lighthearted because everybody's heart's been so heavy. But these are conversations that we have to have. This is necessary, it's needed. People are confused. They don't know what to do. Hearts are breaking. They're playing that. One of the things that I told myself is that I did not want to see that video. And I wasn't going to let my children watch that video to see Mr. Floyd basically get the life taken out of him on national TV. But they are playing it almost on like a loop on certain, platforms. And my 10-year-old came to me and said, Ma, did you see the man that the guy had his knee in his neck? And it broke my heart because all he do is TikTok, but he saw it on TikTok somehow. And he's like, and I guess what I'm saying is that it's just, it's out here and it's visible, and they're playing it almost to incite anger. And, it becomes so much for our people. But one of the things that I'm noticing is that, most of the riots in some of the cities, it hasn't been Black people that have started the violence. It's been white people, and they're not saying that. I got a video.
Well, they did say it on CNN.
Okay.
I was actually watching it today, and I sent this picture to my mom earlier because I was like, there's a I don't even have it in here no more. I was like, there is a white male who is like throwing things into the I have to pull it up, but while you talk, but you know,
Yeah.
he was using his skateboard to bust the windows on CNN. Yes, CNN is telling it, and they're saying that,
Okay.
you know, it's not what you think it is. There are, you know, and I saw them actually arrest a white male for spray painting the CNN sign out there. So,
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
yeah,
Because I
yeah.
saw a
So,
whole video from Minneapolis where it was, and this looked really weird, and I seen somebody use a word that I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but I think it's provocateurs or something like that, or
agent provocateur.
provocateurs.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Well, this man had on all black from head to toe. He had
Mhm.
on a gas mask. He was carrying a black umbrella, and it was sunny outside. This was the very first night of the protests in Minneapolis. It was peaceful. It was a lot of people out, but it was peaceful. And he walked up purposefully with a bat and knocked the windows out in the auto zone. And
Mhm.
they got him on camera, and they followed him, and it found out that he was some type of police officer. But
Mhm.
it's like there's some kind of agenda that's being ran, and we're kind of and they're running it off the backs of this unfortunate incident that happened with Mr. Floyd. And they, already African Americans are angry. And then I sit back and kind of think about things. You had white people that they were angry, and they were marching on to state and government properties with big rifles and stuff just a month ago, because they didn't want to be held in the house for COVID-19 anymore.
Mhm.
Those people ain't just fade away. I think that they're using this as a reason to incite their little violence too, and
Mhm.
conveniently blaming it on our community.
That's exactly what's happening. Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean? And it can't be proven, but it's just real convenient that all of a sudden, I mean, we protest, and I'm not saying we don't get crunk with it, because we got crunk with it in 92, and it was the riots in 92 in LA, because that was the year I graduated high school, and I remember it very well, the Rodney King riots. And yes, and African Americans got real ignorant with that riot. But I don't believe that we're inciting the violence and stuff in this riot. I think it's being incited by someone else, and then you have maybe some young children out there that remember all their brains have been inundated with violence from day one with these video games and the stuff that's on TV. And I think that it's easy to get them hyped up, and then they might just kind of join the bandwagon a little bit. But we're not starting it. They're starting it. I swear, I think they are.
Hold on, y'all. I'm stuck again.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Fee-Love.
It's okay. I know
I don't know
this
what's
is
going on
going
with my
crazy.
computer. They don't want me to talk tonight, honey.
Yeah, we talking about a serious subject, and it's not, and when we start talking truth, they'll start pausing chats and live feeds, and that's part of that's the conspiracy part of my brain. But the other part of my brain is thinking that, a lot of people are online, and maybe YouTube just can't handle this kind of traffic with the live and all that,
There's the picture I was trying to find that I had screenshot of my TV earlier. This man right here was, you see that white gentleman in the center was throwing his skateboard and throwing it at the window and crack and breaking it.
Okay.
So it's like he was front and center, and everybody was like filming him. It's like he is clearly Caucasian,
Right.
so
Yeah. What's your email address? Because I'm going to send you that video that I have if you hadn't seen it yet.
Oh, the man in the gas mask. Yes, I saw
Yeah.
the undercover police officer. They said he was a St. Paul police officer.
Oh, okay. So you did see it.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, it's some creepy stuff going on out here, and Von Zipper was right. The part about it's like distracting from the COVID-19 thing. It almost makes me start questioning, the validity of it, because I'm like, well, it was so highly contagious in the beginning where New York was getting ravaged from it, and now you got all these protests that's been happening. I'd be real curious to see the numbers, this time, 2 to 14 days from now, if the numbers have increased and things like that, because it would naturally, that would be what should happen if it's as contagious as they were saying it was. And don't get it twisted, I believe that COVID is real. I just don't know if I believe all the numbers that they've put out as far as the deaths and things are concerned. And I have family in New Jersey and New York, and 2 people that have died that it was supposed to be from COVID-19, they had underlying issues that, my cousins don't really feel that it was from COVID-19, that, it was other things, but they just put that on their birth certificate. That's what they kind of feel, but they can't prove it because, they wouldn't let you have funerals, and they were cremating the bodies and stuff quick. So I don't know. It's been a crazy world. I just been doing a lot of praying.
Well,
and
that's how that's all you can do, unless you're gonna go burn some stuff up like everybody else being frustrated.
No.
Make you
Yeah,
feel better
no.
temporarily, but
Yeah, I think that's very counterproductive. Like, we can't burn up our own neighborhoods. And Atlanta is the mecca for African Americans. It really breaks my heart that, this is happening out there. And I'm really hoping that they can get it contained and get people to go home, because, we own a lot of stuff in downtown Atlanta. So it would affect our community really, really bad. So
Well, thank you so much, Fee.
you're welcome. Thank you, Michelle. And
All right.
I hope that you stay safe down there.
All right. Thank you. I will.
All right. Bye-bye.
Y'all see, I'm looking at CNN and I see all of y'all looking too. I'm playing double duty. They said the officer Derek Chauvin has bail set at $500,000. So everybody was like, why does he have bail? Like, my thing is, I didn't think he was locked up in the first place. But again, I digress. Let me see. Hi, Ebony. I can't hear you, love. Can you hear me?
Hi, Michelle.
Hey.
Thank you for. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hey, yes. Thank you for having me. Okay, good. I wanted to say, and I love our community. I love our Black people. That's why when I do want to say, like, we need to work on things, it is said in love. So what I want to say is that I do believe, like, our community, we've got weaker since the 60s and the 50s when we were protesting. We were stronger. We were into what was called Black Uplift. I learned this when I took an African American history class. Black Uplift was when you were concerned about the image of Black people in society, because we were trying to gain the right to vote, the right to live anywhere, go to school anywhere. So we cared about our appearance, how we spoke, and how we carried ourselves in public. That was called Black Uplift. So when we were protesting back then, we weren't trying to destroy anything, or we were trying not to be violent. We were letting the dogs be, sicked on us and being thrown with food and, things like that, because we wanted to show that we were human. But I feel like we've gotten away from the Black Uplift over the dozens of years. And I feel like also sometimes in our community, we'll just vote Democratic and we don't always know why. Like growing up, we were kind of told, oh, Republicans are racist, conservatives are racist, but we don't really do all of the research, because some things you may agree with, especially if you're a Black person that's making good money. You may believe in a free marketplace. Or my whole thing is, if you want to vote Democratic, just research what the beliefs are, because I feel like the welfare, all it has done is weaken our community. It's weakened some Black men, not all. And then they don't always respect us. Like how you said earlier, Michelle, you know, they were saying, oh, the monkeys are out of the cage. And you said, well, we call each other monkeys. And that's a lot of it too. Because when some whites, they hide behind their computer monitor and they make their comments on social media, they'll say, well, you all are mostly in jail. You're mostly the ones that's committing all the crimes in our country. They're brave to say that behind the computer because that's the image that they see. So we need to examine, why is that? Why are some of our young Black men in the urban areas, why are they, you know, getting arrested, going to jail, repeat offenders? We need to look at our own community first and strengthen it, so that before we can expect any other change. And then lastly, I feel like we get more upset when the person who is the killer or the shooter is white. We get more upset over that than the Black on Black crime. Because, you know, bottom line, I grew up in Detroit, but I do not live in the city of Detroit. I bought property outside because I don't feel safe. I feel like if I were to go into the city at night by myself, those same Black men that they are protesting for would possibly, you know, harm me. And that's sad. And I know I'm probably offending a lot of my own people, but my point is that we have to address the issues in our community first before we expect any respect outside of the Black race.
Okay. So when you say that, Ebony, I just have a question. When you say, you know, that you're afraid, I'm not afraid to go in any neighborhood. You know, I'm like Jay-Z. I'm good on any MLK Boulevard. So why is it that any Black male would scare you? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it that, you know, did society create that? You know what I'm saying? So I don't feel like Black men are scary. Like, yeah, there are some, hell, there are white men out there that are scary. So I'm just trying to figure out what, you know, I just wanted to know why. What were your thoughts on it? I know everybody has their own thoughts. So, can you hear me?
Well, yes, absolutely. That's a very good question. There are times, there are areas in Detroit where the young girls, they have to walk to school. And when we don't have like the daylight savings and it's dark at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., those girls have gotten raped. And then sometimes they try to walk in pairs, and one had gotten killed and she didn't know her classmate was killed. And then she was waiting for her in the dark and she got raped. Like, and that story, it stood out. And it wasn't something that I could easily forget. Now, I know that people of all colors can commit crime. You know, I'm not saying that it's just Black men, but my point is that we do have to examine, why is it that the majority of our Black men are incarcerated and, you know, going to jail. They say just if a Black man
because the majority of our Black men have a target on their back. That's why the majority of our Black men are on jail. The majority of our Black men are stopped for driving while Black. The majority of our Black men are handcuffed and put in, you know, patrol cars for running stop signs. Like, I don't understand why people. Okay, never mind. Thank you, Ebony.
You're welcome. You're
welcome.
But
I get it, and I'm trying not to, like, you know, argue, but it just upsets me when people say things like that, because I just feel like, you know, we have been put. You need to watch. What is that movie? Is it 13th Amendment? Like there are some things that have been put in place to put African Americans in jail. That's why there are so many African American men in jail, because prison labor is free, and they need slavery to be in place, and so they pretty much enslave our Black men in the prison system, whether they're doing right or wrong. It's so many people locked up right now, for things that their white counterparts would never be in jail for.
And I feel like, again, the racism, we have to attack like the weaknesses in our community so that they don't have anything to fall on. Because when they're behind their computer monitors and they're commenting on the news reports, the clippings on YouTube and on social media, they're saying, well, the majority of the people who commit crimes, it is you. It is your Black man.
The computer monitors aren't killing us. The computer monitor, they can form your opinions or whatever, but the computer monitors aren't locking us up when we drive down the street because we have a nice car, and they just assume that you're a drug dealer. That's not a computer monitor. Those are ingrained systematic systems within police that target Black people. Trust me, I've been a victim, so I don't know. I just be feeling a certain kind of way when people say certain things like that.
I know. I want us to move away from I want us to examine why we have the weaknesses in our community that we do, because that's what they're seeing on the news. That's what
We have the weaknesses in our communities because we didn't get a head start like the rest of the world did. We were brought to America as slaves, and because of that, because we were free without giving any education, any businesses, any help, any land, anything. We were just forced to survive in a land that wasn't our own. That's why we don't have the things that other races have. It's not just because of us, and and it's because of ingrained thinking. 100 how many years we were in slavery, like all of those years taught us that we weren't better than the others. And so I just don't feel that just because we feel like we're in a better place. It's hundreds of years of teaching and ingrained mentality that we need to get out of, and it's just not all our fault.
No, it's definitely not. Now, there is opportunity, like you're a homeowner and you're an entrepreneur, so you've actually risen above what would have been expected back in
I've risen above what? Because at the end of the day, when I go out, I'm still a dark-skinned Black woman. They don't give a damn what kind of car I'm in or how many properties that I own. I'm still treated like everybody else. I'm still treated like a welfare woman. It does not matter. You know what I'm saying? None of that matters at the grand scheme of things. That's great for me. I'm happy that I was able to do certain things.
Why are you treated like a welfare woman?
You need to ask the Caucasians that. I've been stopped in my luxury car and treated like the car wasn't mine before. So I mean, why you're asking me as if that's my fault? Is that my fault? My car paid for.
No. The point I'm making is that that's the stereotype about you. If they're treating you like you're a woman on welfare, that's because that's the image. Unfortunately,
Also, it's my fault. Pardon? It's my fault. So it doesn't matter how much money I have in the bank. It doesn't matter any of that. It's because of what? Because I'm a dark-skinned Black woman. That's the image of a welfare woman. Is that what you're telling me?
No, you told me they treat you like a welfare woman. So I was asking.
I didn't say they do. I'm saying at the end of the day, we're all the same, whether I have money in the bank or not. If as a Black woman, I'm treated like any other Black woman, whether I have $1 billion in the bank or whether I have $1 or no money. Ask Oprah how she was treated in France when she was trying to buy a $20,000 purse, and they were treating her like she was stealing something. She could have bought the whole store, but yet they treated her as if she was somebody's maid or something. That's what I mean. I'm not being facetious when I say things like that, and I don't know. I'm just frustrated. Okay, thank you so much, Ebony. It's time for me to go to another call. Can somebody please come on and say something lighthearted and uplifting? Please and thank you. Before I start crying. Y'all know I start crying. I'm sensitive. I'm sensitive. I'm just saying. Y'all know I'm just so frustrated because it's like I am Black.
No.
I live the Black experience. So how can you tell me you're acting like you're Black? You know what I mean? Like I don't I'm freezing again. Oh, that's an ugly freeze too.
You calling me ugly?
No, I'm freezing. I'm freezing. Go ahead. Hey, Ann Grace.
Hey, how are you?
I'm fine. I might get back in, so keep talking.
I'm gonna throw some positive energy your way. Positive energy. There you go. A couple of thoughts. Oh my God, she just proved the conversation I had today with one of my not Black friends. Okay, so I have been posting on my Facebook since this thing happened. Certain posts. I did this poem about how I want to live in a world where I'm not presumed guilty by the color of my skin, and different things like that. And so I was holding my people accountable. The people who did not look like me, I was holding them accountable, saying, hey, if you don't look like me, this is the time I'm watching to see if you're standing up to speak out and say that this is injustice, right? Mm-hmm. So I had a conversation today with one of those people who didn't look like me. And she brought up the whole thing about the point and why I had that conversation with the individual because of what she just said. And so the whole thing that bothers me, I was trying to get her to see it from my point of view as a Black woman and what I've experienced being pulled over and how I'm treated. And I say, you know me as good woman, this value, Christian woman, do this and that. I said, but automatically when they see me, they see Black, and that's all that they see because that's what they have been taught.
They don't see your education, your accomplishments, your business acumen, your bank account. They see none of that.
None of that. I said they don't see that. And I said, and so that is the problem. We need to educate some kind of way. There needs to be a way to educate the other people that are not like us about who we are. Mm-hmm. And then she was like, well, I was just thinking we need to just have all Black officers just work all Black neighborhoods and there wouldn't be no issues. I said, so you think segregation is the problem? Then you feel like that white people, non-Black people cannot sit back, take a look and say, from our perspective, what we feel in our experience and be able to change. And for her, she was thinking that that's something that never could happen. I think it's almost Von Zipper was saying she had that mindset, which I don't agree with, because I feel like this is the first time, besides her point of view, this is the first time I've had so many people that are not Black who reached out to me to say, what can we do? What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? Like, tell me what would make it better. How can I? And I say, just see us differently. Don't see us as a threat. Number one, don't see us as a threat. We're not your threat. And just like you told her, I told the lady, she said, but you move out of the city. You don't live in a city. You live a little bit out. I said, I may live a little bit out, but I drive in the city just about every day. I have relatives in the city. I still go in the city. I'm not afraid of the city or the people in the city. It's just a difference of what you can afford and what you can't afford at that time where you may live, but it doesn't mean I'm afraid to go in. I go there all the time. So that was one point of view I had because I feel like there's a stigma on us. That was hurting me so bad because it hurts me when I feel like all you see my skin and you've already concluded who I am by my skin. And you haven't even gotten a chance to know who I am, my character. You know what I mean? Just who I am. You know what I mean? So that's one thing. The other thing I was going to say, I'm against the rioting, the looting. I'm against it. And I'm dating myself right here, but I lived in Miami in 1980 We had the riot for McDuffie. I don't know, because most of y'all sound young, look young. McDuffie in 1980. There were 4 officers that was acquitted for the murder of McDuffie. And we had that big riot in Miami. We destroyed that neighborhood. We had that big store that was theirs back then, whatever it was, the big grocery store, all of that stuff. Those stores never came back to that community. Never came back to that community. If you go to that community right now, it's the way they left it, pretty much. It never got built back up again. So it's the reason why I'm against the rioting. It doesn't solve, to me, it does not solve the problem. It only puts us back in our community. Now there's people who had jobs in those Targets, those AutoZones, those whatever, that don't have them jobs anymore. Now you got to look further out for a job. There are people, now you got to drive miles away to get to a store. And what if you don't have a car? Like a lot of people don't. Now you got to figure, how do you get to these places? So you're tearing down your own community. So I'm totally against that, and I'm not for the rioting. The protests, yes. I do believe that they got distracted with the protest, and I think that was the agenda for those men that were sent in. That was the agenda, to distract them, I think, from the protest, because for all of them to come equipped to set that thing on fire, they are the ones who build up, put the wood and they came with all of that. They are the ones who set that up. It wasn't the African Americans that were doing that. So I think they were sent in to distract. And I'm looking away from the camera, y'all, because I'm looking bad. But yeah. But yeah, I believe that they were sent in to distract us. That's what I really believe. And now, because now you got the younger people who really just don't, they have a mindset more like, I just don't care. Let me just go, forward. I feel like it was easier for them to just go along and start doing the looting and the riot. But I think that we could get more done with the protests, how they started out with the protesting, which I'm going to stand here until we see the change and stuff like that. And I agree with you. I was thinking the same thing about the officer. I was like, I didn't think he was really arrested either, but they just released his photo. So obviously he mugshot. So he was. But I do believe they did that just to try to quiet the community. And I think that's why it was we saw a level, what it is, 3rd degree, because they wanted to quiet the community.
And he got bail. He got bail set at $500,000.
Right, and so he could get that. What? That's $50,000 he has to come up with. He owns a home in Florida and a home.
Right.
$50,000 is nothing for him. He'll be able to come up with that. So yeah. Well, anyway, that was my thoughts. I don't want to take up from other people, but that thing infuriates me when they look at us and we're already judged. I said, we're already judged. We got to prove to you we're innocent. Like, I told the white people were, I was telling them that white people started the riots, and I had to prove to them white people started the riots. Show me the video. But a black person, they tell you a black person did something, you don't need no video. They guilty. No nothing, no video. But anyway, y'all, I digress. I'm going.
Well, thank you so much, Ann Grace.
You're welcome. Keep up the good work.
All right. Thanks, Ann. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Hold on, y'all. Wait a minute. LaShawn. Hello.
Hi, Michelle. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good. Hello, everyone. I'm glad that everything that's happening is going on. I believe a fire has been lit under our people. We've done too much suffering. It started back with Trayvon Martin. People were saying that this was going to change, that was going to change. I don't agree with destruction. I believe that they all got carried away because of the anger of it all. A lot of our people have been continuously dying. We've suffered through COVID. So many things has happened. I believe now it is the time for us to continue to do that walk in the wind. I don't know if you're familiar with John Lewis, but he sat at the counters when made that change. But we need to all come together. Like they're doing the same protesting right now as we speak in Los Angeles. and New York. So
Where
it
you
is
calling from?
important. Rochester, New York.
Oh, okay. I love your style, by the way. I'm like, oh,
Thank
okay.
you, thank you.
She's
Our people.
fashionable. She in either LA or New York. I knew it was one of them.
Yeah. I think we do need to come together. Now is the time. So I think everybody, and in regards to the people who planned it or whatever, if we keep talking about that, are you talking to Michelle?
I think we frozen. Are we
Oh,
back?
okay.
Are we?
Okay.
I think we were both
I'm
frozen. I
sorry.
don't
I
know
thought I
what's
was
going
over
on.
talking you.
No, I wasn't talking.
Okay. In regards to the people, the protesters that came in and they wasn't supposed to be a part of it, the police officers, let's not give them any more energy. Let's stay focused on what our mission is. They did that to distract us. Everybody that came on, everybody's talking about that. I don't know what's wrong with that other lady. And this is not like facetious or mean, but we're all treated badly everywhere we go because of the color of our skin, just in case she didn't know the answer to that. I think we should continue to stand together and fight because we are fingers separated, but we are powerful. Like nothing can stop us from doing what we need to do. And I think now is the time. The younger generation don't know what we know. Let's pull them aside and say, hey, y'all continue this fight from state to state. Let's make a difference. I think this
That's
is
why it's important to have these conversations to at least, let people know that, we are supportive. Again, I don't condone it,
no,
but I'm never going to condemn it because I understand the frustration because I've been frustrated. So, yes.
Yes, because they could be someplace chilling, doing what they normally do, chasing the chicks and the guys, but they're out there. So we as an older community need to just say, yes, the mission that you have going, that's the correct mission. But here's the right way to do it, where we can be noticed and still be heard. I mean, this is powerful, and the time is now. Keep your mask on because COVID's still there, and let's do this. Let's be the win. Let's do it. We need to do it for everybody.
Okay.
So, thank you for having me, Michelle.
Thank you,
God
Michelle.
bless everybody. Be
Thank you
safe.
for being so colorful and bright and being a positive, strong black woman.
All it's time, y'all. All my brothers and sisters. I mean, oh my God, we are so powerful, y'all. We can do this.
Yes.
No more death because of the hands of evil. Now, and also know that don't just focus on the fact that a white man killed a black, an evil man who happens to be a police officer and Caucasian killed someone for nothing. So let's also remember the root of everything. Evil is the root of everything. Stand by your people. Love you all. Good night.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
So you ain't I'll turn it off.
I'll kick you out. Thank you. Look. Bye, LaShawn.
Good night, everybody.
Jezebel.
Hey, y'all. Hey, Michelle.
Get on the screen, Jezebel.
No, if we was on Patreon, I would. This topic is too sensitive for me to be on screen, Michelle.
Oh, girl.
I might say something. What? You frozen. Move your hand. Oh, okay. I just wanted to say that I trust my mayor, Keisha. I trust her feelings and her intentions. It's not like we have a hey Glock. It's not like we have a corrupt system. Well, we do, but Keisha's not corrupt. We don't have like a Ray Nagin and Kwame Kilpatrick, But I just think that we need some encouragement and everyone needs to have faith and just stay calm and be positive, guys. We can't be upset.
Wait a minute, let me see this breaking news. Hold on.
What is it?
Oh, they in my okay. I thought they was back
What
in
is
Atlanta.
it?
Huh?
What is this? Ignore Kurt. Oh.
No, keep going. I thought they were back in Atlanta. I'm gonna turn the sound on when they go back in Atlanta. But go ahead, Jasmine.
But I'm kind of, I don't know if I'm against looting or not and rioting. It's kind of like half and half for me. I think like other people would say it gets, your mission gets lost. But some of those people, social media is a lot of my generation is highly influenced by social media. So I will say that, you know, it's a little bit of chasing going on out there, just wanting to be famous or wanting to be somebody, because most of those people I did see in the video were white. I did not see a lot of black kids.
Look, I just put up channel 2. Hold on, let me.
What is it?
And the first thing that come up is like all of these white people down there.
That's what I'm saying. What we at home in the bed, Michelle.
Okay, I don't know what's going on.
We are eating. We at home watching it.
Hold on, let me see if I can put that in there. Hold on, share screen, Atlanta. I went to channel 2, see what channel 2 was talking about. And that's the first thing that popped up was this picture right here. Look at all them white, them Caucasians.
Nothing better to do.
Them are Caucasians. And stuff is burning. March rally turns destructive.
Oh, that was it was supposed to be a march.
Watch.
Civil disobedience is the key. Sometimes, not all the time.
I don't want to watch the news.
It's depressing. What they talking about?
I don't know. I don't want to watch that. I'm trying to watch. I was trying to watch CNN. I be liking CNN because I like their little shady commentary. But they
they more into it. They a little more petty with it.
Yeah, you know, Don Lemon be, you know.
Yeah. Did you see Bernice King on there?
No, what is she doing?
She was on the I think she was on the same thing with Mayor Keisha and Killer Mike them. I think. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I think she was.
Okay.
But I just wanted to say that we got to stay positive. I was so ready when I saw you was going live to go in on Kenya, but I'm like, let me put on my college hat and not act stupid.
Okay.
I think the lady that called in.
Oh, I'm gonna go in on Kenya, but we're not gonna get paid. But I got a whole show plan for Kenya.
Wait, the lady that called in, Ebony, maybe she had a personal situation that happened to her, and that is kind of clouding her. I don't know. Or either she's like a Lil Wayne and just live under a rock.
Yes, Dambrell. We're going to talk about it tomorrow. We're going to go back to our regularly scheduled program. I really, I was going to talk about it today, but I just didn't feel like it. And because I was sitting here watching CNN and hearing the helicopters go over my house and all of that, I was like, well, y'all might as well watch CNN with me. So everybody wanted me to go live tonight, and I came in live. So,
Yeah, girl, I saw Portia. She was out there.
Really?
Yeah, she was out. She was out there.
Portia.
Right. Let me get off. Okay, bye.
Bye, Jezebel.
Bye. Good night, y'all.
Good night. Hold on. Who got in here? Freddie.
What's up, Sheriff?
Hello. Hi, Freddie. How you doing?
Oh, I'm chilling, watching the news.
We was looking for you the other day. Where you been?
You faked on me.
Who?
You did.
How I fake on you?
I was in the back room waiting to get on.
I didn't see you. It was a lot of people back there though. I'm sorry.
Nah, you had a hot date that night, and hurry up and ended the chat.
Nuh-uh, I had been on for 2 hours. Y'all need to realize. See, now I've been on for an hour and 52 minutes. And then you gonna call in at the last second.
Yeah.
It's a long time to be on live. I know y'all be chilling in the chat and stuff, but it's a long time to sit in front of these hot lights. And look, my computer keep freezing. I'm frustrated. I'm I'm about to throw my whole computer away.
Yeah, I feel you. But it's a lot of coons in the chat.
Oh, not a lot of coons.
And old girl Ebony, not too long ago, she's a what you call a mulatto coon.
Oh my gosh! Don't do that. Don't call her that. Just say she's uninformed. Don't call her a coon. Don't do that.
No, it's a coon.
We gotta stop calling each other names. Like they call us names. We gotta stop calling each other names. We just gotta teach each other.
Now, I mean, when you of a certain age and you willfully say disrespectful things like that towards your race, you're a coon. I'm sorry. I believe in calling a spade a spade. She's doing more damage than help. She sees herself as something other. So it's always gonna go back to, well, what about black on black crime? We just supposed to ignore the fact that a counterfeit $20 bill gets you killed.
And that's the point. Like, I just don't like when we start making excuses for loss of life. Well, they shouldn't have had a counterfeit bill, or they shouldn't have been driving without their license, or they shouldn't have, the lights shouldn't have been off, or they shouldn't have been driving that luxury car, or they
Right.
shouldn't have been out at midnight. Like, why can't we do the same thing that everybody else do freely? A crime is a crime, but that doesn't have to cost you your life.
Exactly. That's because they don't respect black life. How many of these situations must we witness for that point to be driven into our psyche?
Mm.
And
Ebony, I was a bit offended when she was like, "Well, what did you do to be looked at as a maid or as a whatever?" And I'm like, "Look that like you want welfare." And I'm like, "Be black?" I mean, what are you saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like. Remember that Kanye line? Even if you in a Benz, you still a nigga in a coupe.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's nothing you have to do but be yourself. Be born with skin color, with melanin, and all of a sudden you're seen as a certain type of person. You don't even have to open your mouth. They look at you, judge you by your hair, your this, that, and then people be like, "Well, you shouldn't wear your hair in braids. Well, you shouldn't do this. Well, you shouldn't have on a wig. Or you should." No, I shouldn't. I should just be me, and I should be accepted for being me, black and beautiful and nappy headed and kinky or whatever you want to call it, as I am.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm looking at all the trickery. As far as the rioting go, rioting, that's what's called spoils of war. When you go to war and you dominate, the reason you see so many white people out there, because white people understand the art of war. And what's happening, although the blacks may set out to have a peaceful protest, you have fake white allies infiltrating the riot.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you saw the cop busting the window with his gas mask, inciting the riot. And once you seize an opportunity to get some free goodies, then there are a lot of people that aren't going to turn that down, And then the emphasis is focused on us. Oh yeah, where the blacks was protesting, and then it turned into a riot. But they failed to mention the white counterparts that are participating.
Mm-hmm.
And
CNN did mention it. We have to say that CNN did mention it earlier.
CNN.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I missed that, but the riot is our way of getting the message out. Hey, we doing this because one of our brethren was murdered on live TV. And we know we're not gonna get any justice, so we're gonna cost these white business on a nice amount of money. See, the national media love to throw it in our face. Hey, you destroying your own neighborhood, but for the most part, Target is white owned, AutoZone is Jewish owned, so we don't own none of that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, although it may fall in the proximity of our community and we may service them, or patrons of their businesses, we don't really own it.
Or employees.
And
That's why it's like it's kind of a catch-22. Like
yeah, it
we're
really
burning up
is.
businesses where they got insurance, they're gonna get paid, the things are replaceable. But then is people of color, black people in particularly, a lot of times that work at those places. Like when they
Right.
break down the Target and the Wendy's and the this and that, it's like some people lost their jobs too.
Yeah, that's true.
So
And I'm wondering what happened to Corona in Minnesota.
What happened to Corona anywhere? You see all these different places: Dallas, Atlanta, New York, California. All of these people are out rioting. And a lot of them don't have on masks. I did
Yeah,
see a few, but again, it just feels like it's a deflection. Like now we're focused on this particular issue that might be the spawn of a race war. And nobody's thinking about this pandemic that we were under, and that was killing people of color, or at least like Von Zipper said, that they led us to believe that more people of color were dying from this pandemic. I
right.
don't know. It's just a lot to take in. So
Yep.
I certainly appreciate you, Freddie, for calling in today on such a serious topic. We're gonna talk about housewives tomorrow. You gonna be here?
I got about a half an hour of material
Uh-oh.
that I've been wanting to drop for, I kind of I want to lighten the mood, because of, everything going on. And I want to at least give us a little temporary relief. And but I'm gonna show up and show out.
Okay.
My spirit is kind of disturbed tonight with all of this.
Yes.
So
And it's just a time to have a discussion. And I understood that. That's how I felt. And I didn't feel like sitting here and laughing and joking
yeah,
and kicking. Like I'm watching people tear up my city.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like this is
yeah,
serious. And it's, and I'm frustrated. I want to go up and tear up some shit too. You know what
yeah.
I'm
I
saying?
feel you.
So yeah, I
But
just wanted to, to talk since I was here watching it. I may as well watch it with y'all. And I appreciate
yeah,
y'all, those of
yeah.
you who stayed.
I'm glad you showing range though.
Mhm.
The diversity of your thinking.
Even though YouTube keep freezing me.
Yeah, they funny like that when such subject matters are being spoke upon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we all know what's up with that.
Well, thank you so much, Freddie. I appreciate you.
Okay, appreciate you too.
All right.
All
Talk to you
right.
tomorrow. All right. Bye. I don't know if I can go anymore, y'all. We've been talking about this for 2 hours, and I know it's a bunch of y'all in here. Let me see who in the back. You said so instead. I know y'all been waiting a long time. Let me put Nisha in here. You've been waiting a long time, Nisha. Can you hear me?
Hi. Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Yes. Hey.
Hey, thank you. Because I was listening to it because this was a good conversation.
Uh-huh.
Minus Ebony, because I was back here speaking to her privately, and I mean that type of delusion. I just want to start off by saying is what is wrong with
I
some
was
of our
frustrated
people,
too. And my
like to
thing is,
just flat out ignore racism. Like when she asked you that, like I had steam coming out of my ears. What do you mean? What did she do to be looked at as be black, be born, exist? And don't act like you have never experienced racism before. That's a huge part of the problem.
I'm here.
I didn't know what happened.
I
And
keep getting this out my whole screen. I'm here.
yeah, but you know, it's like that type of thinking is a huge part of the problem. And it's like we're never gonna get anywhere with people that think like her, you know, and that's a huge part of the reason why people are so mad. Like when I was watching so many people's lives, and I'm glad that I was, because the way the media was portraying it was like that black people were rioting, and no, they were protesting, and it was white people that was looting and doing this stuff. I was watching them. I was watching them. Like I couldn't go to sleep. The last 2 nights I was watching everything. And it's like people, like when they're saying like, oh well, why is this happening? Why are they doing this? It's like, listen, because if we keep just not doing nothing is going to happen. Everybody says like, oh well, it shouldn't be, it should be peaceful. Where has peaceful protest gotten us? What has it changed? Nothing. This is a sad reality that we're in, where we can now watch on videotape a black man be murdered right in front of us, while 3 other officers stand there, countless other people stand there and watch this man be murdered. It's on cam, it's recorded so we can see it. So in that capacity, it's way worse than the 60s. And it's like, for me as a black woman, like I just had I had this conversation last night with some black males. I'm like, you know, I feel unprotected, and psychologically, as a black woman, to see them kill the black man, it's like a threat. It's a threat to me, you know, like to say like, I'm gonna kill your protector, you're unprotected, and then to turn around and watch black women being killed, and it's like, I'm gonna kill you too. So then there's like a constant fear of like, this could be me. I'm scared for the police to get behind me. I'm scared for any kind of confrontation with white people in any capacity. You know what I'm saying? Like, I fear for my life, and like, that's wrong. But like, we're supposed to be the ones yet they're so fearful of us. For what? Like, I'm not gonna do anything to anybody. That's the honest to goodness truth. I'm carrying on about my business. And to me, my reality is that's black people. And we're not going out being just evil beings looking to do something horrible to somebody else. Are there people that do that of every race? You know what I mean? But I don't see black people like as that. And that's my problem with people like Ebony, because it's like she does see us like that. You know, she sees it like and it's like, that's crazy because you're a black woman. How are you looking at yourself? And don't tell me you have not experienced racism on some point, because we all have.
Right.
And so like it's just like
maybe she thought she was to blame for it. She thought she was the cause of it. I don't know.
And no, that's exactly what it seems like, because she has a true self-hate issue. But yeah, and I hope she gets that together while she's been educated about everything else and uplifting. I'm over that. But I did want to say I was very proud of the people for standing up, because that's what needs to happen. Like when Killer Mike said like systematic racism, like that is the truth. And that's why people are mad, and that's part of why this needs to happen, because it should happen just everywhere. Like this all needs to like be thrown up. And they're talking about burning down the buildings. Just like the last caller, we don't own them. That's the reality. These not our buildings.
Right.
Matter of fact, I don't care. I felt like this should have happened all across this country, because our ancestors built all of this for free. So really, F their buildings.
There you go.
Because we still didn't get paid for that. You know, just like they could say, oh, when it came to a point of reparations, oh, well, we don't have the funds. But yet, come here this little pandemic y'all just had, and all of a sudden y'all got some funds. Do you see what I'm saying? So I like for me, it's like I'm proud of the people that were actually protesting, not so much I don't really care about the looting. I mean, that wasn't really us doing it. That's really white people and Trump supporters or whatever that came out there too, that's doing that stuff. So I don't really that's not really my business either. So, but as far as the protesters and their heart and intent, I'm very proud of all of them. I feel like, you know, that's what's wrong with this generation, that we do not stand up for anything. We just let so much wrong stuff happen, and it is time for us to grow and evolve past that and be we the people and force them to act and do what we want them to do and what we believe is right at the end of the day, because we're not just 2/3 of a person, we're whole people. And like this is it's like it's a psychological attack for us to even be seeing this when you think about that. Do you know what I mean?
It is. It definitely is.
And
but
so
it's draining, because it's like, you know, we get so frustrated because it just feels like, you know, we have no power, you know, regardless of, you know, just like, you know, we were talking to Ebony, it don't matter how much money you got, it don't matter, like none of that matters if you are a black person, an African descendant of slaves. At the end of the day, you know, it does not matter. Like people who, you know, have prejudices against you or who are racist still see you however they want to see you, despite what you have, despite your education level, despite your income, despite where you live, what side of town you live on, any of that, you still seem the same as everyone else. So
yeah, they're not going to let you forget that you're black. And like I said, like people with that type of thought process is a huge problem. Like that's a huge problem, because you're just like saying like it doesn't happen. We you know, we can see you, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's like it's utterly ridiculous. And you know, at the end of the day, we do have power, and us thinking that's part of the lie. Us thinking that we don't, but we do. We have all the power with our money. Look at everything about this is built by us, influenced by us. Do you understand what I'm saying? All they do is take our stuff and steal our stuff and then whiteify it with everything. That's it.
Yep.
So we are the power. Literally, we have always been it. So like we are the flavor of this earth.
Yeah.
And it's so like and it's like I like at this point, black people as a whole, we need to love each other and unify. That's what they don't want to happen. Everybody, and we need to quit saying segregation. Like, you know what? Segregation never ended. When you go into Asian neighborhoods, where's the black stores? I've never seen one. Never.
You're right. But there are a lot of
you
Asian
go into
stores
these
in black neighborhoods.
Absolutely.
Right.
When you go into the white areas, there's white stores, there's white employees. You see what I'm saying? So how is it not segregated already?
You're right.
The only thing is that it's people that think like Ebony, because what Ebony's real problem is that she wants to be white. She wants to be like them, and we don't need to fit in. When we're made to stand out, all we need is our own. And I get sick of people like as if we're not capable of having the best of everything. What do you think we do? How do you think these white people have the best of everything? Because we're the ones who's working and doing it. You mean to tell me we can't do that because it's black owned? The quality somehow dropped now? No, it doesn't.
Nisha, you better preach.
And it's like, so like it's like we have to get beyond that and like put that into action, because we can do it. We spending all of this money and keep making these people richer that are never gonna let us sit at their table. And we don't need to. We can keep our own money and build our own tables.
I agree.
And it's just like this is ridiculous. It's like just like and the reason why I don't care about their buildings being burnt down is because it wasn't just one Black Wall Street. See that's all people seem to hear about. But no, there were multiple ones, and they burned them all down. And when they tried to rebuild, they burnt them down too. And so I don't care about their buildings. I feel like all of this stuff can be burnt down because it got built for free on my ancestors' back, and they still ain't paid us. And actually, run me my money.
Right. Right.
And it's like if we and the fact of the matter is, it's like we're paying them to devalue us by us keep putting our money into their pockets, and that's what needs to stop. We need to value ourselves and put our money into ourselves. Period. Because that's what they do, and they don't let us in their clubs, and they're never going to. And I'm so tired of people thinking because one black person gets to sit in this club, or you see them with this white, that's just that one. That's really doing nothing for us. That's not. They're not going to open no door. That's not opening no doors for us. That's that part. That's that individual, and understand that. Because as long as people think like that, then it's like we're not going to get nowhere. It has to be all of us. We're not good until all of us are good. Because at the end of the day, when the ones who don't have, it's going to come a time where, guess what? I'm starving and I'm coming to get what you got. Because if you couldn't make it fair, then it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Nisha.
But thank you for having me. I love y'all black people, and we got this. We just need to fully get it together and invest in ourselves and love ourselves and show ourselves that, so that we show our children that for this next generation.
You're right.
All right. And y'all have a good night.
Thank you, Nisha.
Thank you, Michelle.
All right. Goodbye. Y'all have preached and preached and preached. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me tonight. I don't know if I can go another minute. I am so I'm not gonna do nothing but just go and watch more CNN. But it's just a lot. It's just a lot to take in, and I appreciate y'all, communicating and talking this through with me. The solution will not come easily. It will not come overnight, clearly, but at least, it's creating a conversation. You can't say that people aren't paying attention now when every major city, things are happening. And not to say that, we want every major city to burn down, but at least now it's like people are paying attention. Can't nobody say, oh, there's really not racism. These things just happen to certain people that shouldn't be in certain places. No, that's not what happens. And throughout, the years, all of these hashtags, each and every hashtag, the Sandra Bland's, the Trayvon Martin, the George Floyd, and it's just been so many I can't remember. Please just forgive me. It's just not slipping, but it's just so many hashtags of so many lives lost. And we champion the cause for a good couple of weeks. Then we move on to the next. We move on to the next hashtag or the next person. And so, again, it's the frustration. It's the frustration of the unheard that's causing all of this. And so, somebody has to speak on it. Now they at the White House burning stuff up, threatening the White House. Are they going to burn up the White House? Now they in LA turning over cars. Now somebody, our leadership, even though, our leadership has called the protesters thugs, something has to be done. Somebody needs to take the mic from Donald Trump and just speak on it and lead the people to where they feel a bit more comfortable about life in general. Because right now, nobody's safe. It's just clear. Nobody's safe. It doesn't matter who you are. You could die too. You could die tomorrow. And especially if you are, a black male or female in this society. There's just so much going on. But anyway, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. And I'm sorry I keep freezing. It's a YouTube thing. I don't even know if y'all can see my mouth. Let me see. I think I'm frozen. Let me see. Am I frozen? Yep, I'm frozen now. So let me go. My computer tired. I'm tired. I will see y'all tomorrow. Once I got this out my system, so maybe we can go back to our naturally scheduled program and giggle and laugh about things that won't make us cry. So thank you guys. I appreciate you, and thank you for the super chats. I appreciate you, and the cash apps. Thank you so much. And good night. Even though y'all can't see me waving, I'm waving. Bye.